this is where we move into what spatial computing does today, is industries like design, manufacturing, anything where you need to have a physical relationship with 3D information. This is a complete game changer. It's a better way to do it. You can see things, you can understand the objects more effectively. It's not just that it feels good, it just works better to do. And so you can imagine and understand that, similar to advertising, it's kind of like follows the path of most resistance, or least resistance, or whatever. If it's better to do it and your competitor's doing it, so they're doing better results, then you better start doing it. So these tools then come in through design, as a lot of PC with the Macintosh, probably came in with the designer first that made apps for Macintosh or whatever. And sort of just like an inevitable progression where it's like, oh, they've got that tool set there and they're in that tool set, so they're like, oh, I need to access my other desktop functions while I'm there as well. The only real limitation is the current bandwidth, but what's happening is that really quickly with VR, they actually took virtual reality off the hype cycle, which means they've kind of declared it a mature product. They just announced today, it's like $6,000, but not today, a few weeks ago. We've just shipped like 5 apps over the space of like 3 months. I'm exhausted, so sorry if I'm getting my temporal position mixed up. They've just shipped a VR headset that is human eye resolution. So when you go into VR, the digital objects look as they would look if you were looking at a real object, but it's not constrained by the laws of matter or physics. So it can look like anything you want, but now it looks like it would if it existed in the real world, which is cool. And the last thing I really wanted to touch on that I think is a real life today now industry is connectivity. So at the moment, we all do probably group Skype calls, maybe group Facebook chats at Christmas time because your uncle isn't coming down, things like that. And it's great. It's really good to talk to people, but it's essentially a computer screen with a little photo that kind of moves around, and you're essentially just doing a phone call, really. I don't even look at the screen most of the time when I'm talking to people on Skype. Often I'm looking at my own hair because I'm just like, how's it look? Yeah, pretty good. Whereas in virtual reality, but let's say in a digital twin enabled world of spatial computing, you can actually inhabit both digital and physical spaces with other people's digital and physical avatars. Now, me talking to you tonight, if you listen to the audio recording, it'll be pretty good. But what will really do it for you, maybe the slides, they're pretty good as well, thank you, is actually the way that I'm moving in the space. And a lot of that, unless you've got like superhuman vision, is actually the way that I move my head, the way that I move my hands, maybe a bit of the way that I move my mouth. But from over there, what you're really getting is a sense of me, who I am, and what I'm trying to say from basically 4 data points: the 6 degrees of freedom for my hands, my head, and my mouth flapping up and down, which we can do in VR right now, and it's incredible. So I do a VR meetup in virtual reality with a bunch of XR VR designers around the world. We just get together and we chat. It's like, oh, hey, how you doing? And you sort of can walk around and go over to someone and you can inhabit a space with them, which is incredibly human. So imagine being at your desk and talking to, does anyone here do remote work or work with people in other? So imagine, you know how you get on Skype and you're like, oh, hey, on Slack, hey, what's this going on with that? And it's like, yeah. Imagine being like, hey, dial you in, cool. Hey, what's going on? Blah, 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 let's talk it out. It's actually there already, to be honest. The Oculus Quest is a device that I keep an eye out for. So it's a $600, $500 probably standalone virtual reality headset that's going to come out this year that allows full degrees of movement of freedom, relatively high computing power, like visual fidelity, and it's completely computer free. So it's probably the first VR device that'll come out. It's the first one I'm excited to buy as a consumer. I really can't wait because I'll have my little portal to my little infinite painting world. I just have it in my backpack and I just pop it on and be like, oh, I'll see you later, guys. But I can also get one I'm going to insist everyone gets one. And instead of doing Skype meetings, which stink, we have to travel all around the world for different things. I'm going to be like, all right, guys, see you there.